Welcome into the draft profile for Mike Green, defensive edge rusher out of Marshall. This is an interesting story, right? Starts his college career at Virginia. He unfortunately had some off the field accusations that I'm not super interested in diving into, to be honest, but there was one dating back to high school and then another in college. He ends up moving to Marshall, plays 2 seasons at Marshall, had incredible numbers. I'll put them on the screen now for you guys, but he was absolutely incredibly productive at Marshall. He is that classic, speed edge rusher that we're going to be talking about here. He fits that mold. I think he's probably going to be compared to like a James Pierce Jr. in this class. I think they're both kind of in that same mold of edge rusher type guy, and I'm not gonna bury the lead. I think Mike Green is probably better. I do like him more. I think I'm still probably a little low than the rest of the NFL is. I've seen Mike Green mocked a lot, top 10, top 15. Okay, maybe. I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and get into the skill chart, and we'll break down Mike Green. So as we look at Mike Green here, first thing we have to talk about is that burst and athleticism. His explosiveness is real. It's legit. Found it a little interesting that he didn't run. I will say he didn't run at the combine. Really just because why? Why wouldn't you? I always... Again, and maybe this isn't fair, but I always look at these guys that don't run at the combine. It's like, okay, this was your moment. This is your moment to show out. And if you're not taking that opportunity to show out, then you didn't have much to show, right? Like that would be, it's the classic. If you're afraid to get naked in the locker room, well, we all kind of know why, right? Like that's always my theory, and that's probably not fair. But for a guy like Mike Green, I saw it. You see it on film. It was really more of a, I would have liked to just confirm what I was seeing, and you didn't get to do that. So it wouldn't have gained him any points for me. It wouldn't have upped his draft stock by any means. He still would have been the same guy. It's just a side note, something to mention that I was a little surprised that he didn't. And the other really exceptional part of his game is his flexibility and bend, right? At a 6.6, that's a really positive grade, just under elite for me. And it's special. He does have really good ankle flexion. He's very, very bendy. He can get around the corner at a very high level. I do believe that is kind of the difference maker for me on what makes him the best speed rusher in this class. And on top of being super bendy, being super explosive, having that great burst and athleticism, he has a ton of technique to add to it. He has a ton of pass rush moves. It's not just a one-trick pony. My favorite is still probably his speed to power. That's going to be my favorite for anybody who does it at a high level. I just love seeing a smaller guy get off a line with incredible explosion and then just drive their body into a much larger human, push them back, and then discard them. Like, that's just fun. That's just fun. Mike Green does it really well. He also has grip and rip. Classic swim move is there. He has the leap chop. He has a spin move. I mean, really, he has a full bag of tricks. He does, and that is all leads us to why he has a great pass rush grade at a 7.3. Look, this is a guy who has some legit traits, has some legit skill. There's gonna be teams that are gonna value him really, really highly, and he probably is the best pure speed rusher in this class. Not probably, he is. He's definitely the best speed rusher in this class. I feel confident that I can say that at this point. Now, obviously, if you're in that box, if you're in that mold, you look at he's not going to be great versus the run. He is still your primary third down, get after the quarterback type of guy. I don't know how much 3 down potential he ultimately has. I think there's some. You can definitely play him backside. You can definitely hide him here and there. His play strength is positive at a 4.7. That's about as low as I get before you get into negatives. At a 4.5 is like my line of demarcation. Everything below it's negative, everything above it is positive. So we're positive. We're not loving the score. Like, I mean, you want that to be better. That's definitely not like a first round grade for that skill set, but it didn't have to be. And the fact that is positive at his size, I think that's impressive. And then leverage at a 3.8, that's kind of goes hand in hand with his ability to hold blocks at the edge, all of those things. Yeah, we're not going to see that. Those are the elements of his game that we're not going to see. Those are the elements of the skill chart that are clearly going to be the negative, but that's the type of guy that he is. This skill chart is about as good as it gets for a pure speed rusher as far as the way I grade prospects. Ultimately, the only huge question mark that I think teams are going to have about this guy, if you're looking for a speed edge rusher, right? If you're looking for that archetype, certainly some teams are just not going to be as high on a guy like this because they want a different type of guy at that position. That's fine. That's not what we're talking about. The teams that are interested in this type of player, I think the biggest question is just going to be, you had 1 year of legitimate production at a fairly small school, and you're in the NFL, and now we're supposed to spend a top 15 pick on you, top 20 pick on you. That's going to be a conversation in the room. Other than 2 tackles and a sack against Ohio State, you're just not seeing a ton of production against NFL talent by anywhere close to NFL talent. He crushed at the Senior Bowl, did great there, and there is a ton of reasons why I would expect him to be a top 20 pick. And I do think right in the middle of the draft, you have the Arizona Cardinals, you got Atlanta Falcons, Bengals, all right there in the middle of the teens area. Any one of those teams would need and probably love a Mike Green that feels like probably his ceiling and his floor. Like I have a hard time thinking he falls beyond that. Although, yeah, there's definitely gonna be there's question marks for me. I'm a little bit more apprehensive to just say slam dunk. Yes, he's a future 12 sack artist in the NFL because he did it at Marshall for a year. Call that what it is. Call that what it is. I know I shouldn't think like that. I know that is ultimately the wrong way to look at things, but I there's just a little bit of me that's there. All right, so take that for what it is. I gotta be real with you guys. I gotta just say it. I gotta give my piece a little bit. He's got super high end potential. Nobody would argue that. There's a ton to like about this dude, and he's easily the best speed rusher in this class, I think, and he definitely top 25 pick probably. I think ultimately at the end of the day, I've seen him top 10. I've seen him top 15 a lot, and that would scare me. It would scare me. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying it would make me a little nervous. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps out the channel, helps me grow a little bit, and means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.